In March 2011, Ayala Museum unveiled this major retrospective exhibition featuring 185 works by the celebrated artist and art educator, Araceli Limcaco-Dans, spanning 50 years of her artistic career. Curated by Dans herself, the exhibition filled 2 floors of the museum's gallery spaces, with works from private and institutional lenders, as well as the artist's personal collection. Born in 1929 to Eleuterio Limcaco and Regina Fernandez, Araceli, or Cheloy to her friends and family, showed her aptitude for art even at a young age. She participated in art lessons at Santa Rosa College, the only child in a class of adults. She obtained her bachelor's degree in art in 3 years from the University of the Philippines College of Fine Arts under the tutelage of national artist Fernando Amorsolo. In the 1950s, Philippine art was exploring modes of modernism, notably abstraction and cubism. Students were taught the value of developing one's craftsmanship. But after graduation, Araceli felt confronted by the seemingly irreconcilable extremes of schools of artistic thought. Hence, shared the artist, over the years, as I strive to achieve mental and emotional honesty, I found the need to shed most, if not all, the acquired Western sophistication. I tried to approach my art with an almost childlike simplicity, in order to obtain a modicum of freshness of vision. For how else can one discover beauty in the common and usual? While her contemporaries were pursuing modern art by incorporating fragmentation and distortion into their visual vocabulary, Araceli Dans nurtured her early works with the classical ideals of the prime works of Amorsolo and sculptor Guillermo Tolentino. Araceli Dans is also recognized as one of the foremost art educators in the country. She founded the Fine Arts Department at the Philippine Women's University in 1950 and reorganized the art program of the Ateneo Grade School, where she eventually headed the art department until 1972. After pioneering teaching art on television in the Ateneo Educational Television from 1964 to 1968, she founded the Philippine Art Educators Association, or PAEA, with the artist Brenda Fajardo. The artist's eye for composition and experience as an educator is evident in the arrangement of the exhibition. The ground floor gallery featured large portraits and iconic calado works, and may be interpreted as the public manifestation of the artist's love for art. Portraiture played an important part of Araceli's artistic development and enabled her to provide for her family. As a teenager, she sketched portraits for the mothers of American soldiers stationed in the Philippines during World War II. Later, she would become a favorite portraitist of Manila's art patrons and elite. Her first solo exhibition at the Contemporary Art Gallery showcased portraits that manifested her eye for detail and perspective. Her second individual exhibition was held in 1986 at the Museum of Philippine Art. Alongside portraits that marked the past 20 years of her career, the artist presented watercolor still-life compositions of embroidered piña fabric, the Calado series. Calado refers to open-work embroidery. As a still-life subject, Calado demands technical dexterity and a fine eye for very small details. The artist does not use white pigment in her Calado paintings. The white seen is the color of the paper or canvas used. A still-life composition is a juxtaposition of textures and materials. Among the exquisite embroidered linens and blouses are favorite blossoms. However, Araceli is also fascinated with other imagery, such as basketry, foliage, as well as frayed rags and old and worn boxes. This later work recalls the legacy of 19th century Filipino portraitists Justiniano Asuncion, Antonio Malantic, and Damian Domingo. Araceli Dance's paintings embody the pride and joy she feels in her view of Philippine culture and heritage. The third floor of galleries exhibited the artist's forays into three-dimensional pieces, as well as large canvases manifesting the artist's personal affinity for traditional Catholic beliefs and her own experiences as a mother of 10. In the inner gallery, a selection of lithographs and etchings, studies of the female form, and a composition made on an out-of-town trip with fellow artist friends are shown, evidence of the artist's unceasing dedication to honing and evolving her craft. Notably, intimate portraits of the artist's family occupy the most prominent walls of this gallery. A detailed watercolor of her mother, a sketch of her husband reading quietly, daughter Barbara carefully mending a toy, the smiling faces of the artist's children and grandchildren. These works show the deep love of the artist for her subjects and her dedication to her craft. Evident in the artist's works is a life filled with the bliss of a happy family and a productive professional career. Amid changing times and views, experimentation and exploration, the oeuvre of Araceli Dance attests to her unwavering ethos and vision of art.